I'm Chris Trott with Team TaylorMade. We're here at the Kingdom, Carlsbad, California. In my hand, I have the much anticipated mill grind 4 wedge. But before we get into a first look at this product, let's peel back the sticker and reveal the raw face. As you've revealed the raw face, notice this now has a laser etching on there, also known as spin treads. Just feel it. It's prominent. You can truly feel that on the raw face. Now, as you put this down, you'll notice it's at a 45-degree angle. That's designed for how the club is going to come in, as you're going to have an attack angle and a club path to each wedge shot you hit. But in turn, it's going to give you a lot of spin in wet conditions, more than the previous model. In the wet, these spin treads are going to disperse the water and then give you control and spin on your golf ball. That's where you're going to notice it the most. Looking at the wedge from the top, from that tour look where players look at it, Rory is already using this. He's already endorsed it. The belly on the wedge has slightly more curvature to it, so there's more round there, so when you open the blade it's not as straight as it used to be, and the flow in the back here between hosel and the back of the wedge has also changed through the lofts and in the look as you put it down, giving you that tour inspired footprint that is already played by some of the best players in the world. So as you look down the milled grind sole of this golf club, it's going to come in different bounce options, the standard, the high, the low. We've added some shapes and some cambers for you, the golfer, to work with for different turf conditions and based on how you deliver a wedge. But here, between finger and thumb, there's more mass in the middle of the golf club here. It's important because that's behind the strike point. It's going to give you a feel out of this wedge and more response that you're going to get back as the player. Again, Rory loves that about it, and he gets that hit. So here's where you start with the shot. This is about 63 yards. I've grabbed a 56, but I'm just looking to take some speed out, and this is where you're going to notice those spin treads are really going to grab that golf ball for you. But you're looking just for off-speed golf shots. So just a nice clip, put it back there, down and grab. And you can see how that golf ball grabs. Again, let's see if we can flight another one in there, controlling the flight. And let's face it, when you get a new wedge, it's always nice to see that out of it, that hop and grab. And this is only on a 65, 63 yard shot, and it's generating 8,800 spin. That shows you how much this groove grabs as I hit this off-speed golf shot. Another nice flight. Same amount, it spins back towards the hole. Consistency, 8,300. So I've got the consistency, I'm getting the spin I want, I'm getting the action I want. Let's go and have a look at some other lies where we might benefit from what's in this wedge. So as we move into the bunker, now you're going to realize when it comes to, and I have a 56 with standard bounce on this, on my mill grind sole, when I open the blade, the belly of the wedge that's changed. So remember I told you that's the leading edge, it's now got more curvature to it. As you put that down, not only do you reveal this camber fall away here, so that the heel of this wedge is going to remove the sand for me to give me that shot, but now I've also got a leading edge that doesn't look so straight. So it's going to look a little bit easier to the eye. The flow in the back of the wedge makes it look nice when I put it behind and open it. Now I can see this, it's got that nice footprint to it. But also as I get in there, set up to it, everything looks how it wants to look. 45 degrees on the spin treads. When the blade's open like that, now they're going to react a slightly different way. A little bit heavier on that one, ran it up the hill, not a bad result. And then if I can get one a bit cleaner, I'm sure I can capture a bit more spin. There you go. And that one will grab and not run out as far. But two great results. Mark the face well here, good strikes. If I want to go to the shorter flag with the 56, I can open that blade even more, reveal more of the sole, the mill grind sole, and then this one, just flip it up. Now those spin treads are going a completely different angle, but they're still going to work for me because with a trap shot, I'm going to come down and get the attack angle that makes those grooves, the laser etched, work how I want them to work. pop it out, control. I'd be happy with all three of those results. Strikes are good. I can feel the face even off the sand. Depth is good, so the camber's working for me. Technique's where I want it. I'd be pretty stoked with that, and I'd move on to, shall we say, chipping out the rough. Maybe would be a good place to look at your wedge before you make that final choice on which camber you want. So I've brought us out here to the rough. It's lush here in California at the moment, but you can see as I put the wedge behind now, it wants to drop into the grass. That's where the mill grind sole is really going to come into effect for you. And just as you feel it, and sometimes I just go one hand just to feel it going through, you can get that sound of the mill grind sole really catching on there. This should run away from you a little bit, but what I've noticed as I just pitch one on is how solid and how much on these chip shots where you're not certain where the strike is going to be on the blade because of the grass type that I told you about, how it's quite soft. You're not certain where it's going to strike, but what you are getting because of the mass behind the middle of the golf ball, you're getting a consistent feel. So even if I put the ball into more of a nasty lie here, that's sitting down a bit, I've got to get a bit steeper on this, put the ball back. But I'm getting, and you could hear it on the audio, I'm getting the feel that's hard for me to explain, but as I hit different shots, that is a game changer for me when it comes to around the greens, knowing what it's going to do and having that consistency. Even if I give myself a lie where it's up a bit, I can open the blade now. I've talked about the bunker shot where I can reveal what's going on and then I can just flip underneath. It's the consistency. I mean, it's ridiculous. For a test like this, that would be the three shots I'd want to hit. Standard lie where I'm not sure where the roots are, came out top of the blade a little short. One where it's horrific, but I can get that leading edge into it and I can reveal the front edge of that camber. And then one where I just pop it up and the sound every time, the consistency was just there. I mean, that for me is test done in this area. I think all we're left to do is truly show you how the spin treads will disperse water to help maintain spin on all types of shots. So let's lay down a spin number as we get going to have a barometer as to what we go off. Nice solid strike, I can get that feel again out of that. Grabs and you can see it just munch straight back. That's given me 8,800. Now it's important that we understand the wet conditions are going to come in if you play in the morning, if there's some dew in the rough. It doesn't have to be raining. The water and the moisture is around the golf course all the time. So let's place this on there. I'm going to see a drop in my numbers. That is going to happen. And that as well was a nice, spinny, zippy golf shot. But let's just see how much it changes and how close I can get to that 8,800 number. Good flight there, good strike. You can visually see it had the hop, but the control on the flight was good. And that one's down at 6,500 on my spin rate. Again, you'd expect to see a drop, but what you wouldn't want to see is something that's crazy, crazy. And again, I'll just show you one more time. Remember, you're going to get these conditions everywhere on the golf course. Certainly if you play in the morning, it doesn't just have to be in the rain. And you don't want to see a huge drop off. And this is the shot. If you can maintain it here, you can maintain it anywhere. Bit more speed, bit more height, bit more carry, bit more grab. 8,000 spin. That's a great testament as to what you would get out of these wedges, what you get out of the groove and the design. I think they're an amazing job. If you can get fitted for these, I'd advise it. Look at your gapping, look at how they work into your set of irons, get the distances right, get the bounce right for your game. Perhaps if you play at two different locations, you want to have the higher bounce for the softer turf, and then if you play somewhere firm or go on a trip to Europe, you're going to want that low bounce option to be in your lineup. Hence the importance of a fitting. Check that out and go to TaylorMadeGolf.com. This is the brand new Mill Grind 4 wedge and it is an awesome club.